Hello students, in this video we will be learning about various important processes in human respiration like the exchange of gases, transport of gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide in our body and various human respiratory disorders. Let's start by taking a look at the exchange of gases. Exchange of gases. Alveoli are the primary sites for gas exchange, with additional exchange occurring between blood and tissues. Gases move by simple diffusion based on pressure concentration gradients. The partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide creates gradients that drive oxygen from alveoli to blood to tissues, carbon dioxide from tissues to blood to alveoli. This table shows partial pressure difference at different places. CO2 diffuses 20 to 25 times faster than O2 due to its higher solubility. The diffusion membrane consists of three layers: the thin squamous epithelium of alveoli, the endothelium of alveolar capillaries, and the basement substance between them. Despite these layers, the total thickness is less than a millimeter, facilitating efficient gas exchange. Transport of gases. Oxygen transport. 97% carried by red blood cells, RBCs. 3% dissolved in plasma. Carbon dioxide transport. 70% as bicarbonate ions. 23% carried by RBCs as carbaminohemoglobin. 7% dissolved in plasma. Blood serves as the transport medium for oxygen and carbon dioxide throughout the body. The vast majority, 97%, of oxygen is carried by red blood cells, RBCs, with only 3% dissolved in plasma. Carbon dioxide transport is more varied. 70% travels as bicarbonate ions, about 23% is carried by RBCs as carbaminohemoglobin, and 7% is dissolved in plasma. This efficient transport system ensures that oxygen reaches tissues for cellular respiration while carbon dioxide is effectively removed from the body, maintaining the delicate balance necessary for proper physiological function. Transport of oxygen. Hemoglobin binding. Hemoglobin is an iron-containing pigment in RBCs that reversibly binds with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Each hemoglobin molecule can carry up to 4 oxygen molecules. Pressure factors. Binding of oxygen with hemoglobin primarily depends on partial pressure of O2. Other factors include partial pressure of CO2, hydrogen ion concentration, and temperature. Oxygen dissociation curve. The sigmoid-shaped oxygen dissociation curve shows the relationship between oxygen saturation of hemoglobin and partial pressure of oxygen, helping study various factors affecting oxygen binding. In the alveoli, conditions favor oxyhemoglobin formation, high O2, low CO2 partial pressure, lower hydrogen concentration, and lower temperature. In tissues, conditions favor oxygen dissociation, low O2, high CO2, high hydrogen concentration, and higher temperature. Under normal conditions, every 100 milliliters of oxygenated blood delivers about 5 milliliters of oxygen to tissues. What about the transport of carbon dioxide? About 20 to 25% of CO2 is carried by hemoglobin as carbaminohemoglobin. This binding depends on CO2 partial pressure and is affected by O2 levels. Bicarbonate formation. RBCs contain high concentrations of carbonic anhydrase, which facilitates the conversion of CO2 to bicarbonate ions, HCO3- and H+. Reversible reaction. At tissue sites, high pCO2, CO2 forms bicarbonate. At alveolar sites, low pCO2, the reaction reverses, releasing CO2 for exhalation. The transport of carbon dioxide is highly efficient, with every 100 milliliters of deoxygenated blood delivering approximately 4 milliliters of CO2 to the alveoli. The bicarbonate system serves as an important buffer in blood, helping maintain pH balance while facilitating the removal of waste carbon dioxide from the body. Regulation of respiration. Humans can maintain and adjust respiratory rhythm to meet tissue demands through neural regulation. The respiratory rhythm center in the medulla region of the brain is primarily responsible for this regulation, while the pneumotaxic center in the pons can moderate its functions by altering respiratory rate. A chemosensitive area adjacent to the rhythm center responds to increased CO2 and hydrogen ions, signaling the rhythm center to adjust respiration. Receptors in the aortic arch and carotid artery also detect changes in CO2 and H concentration, sending signals for remedial actions. Interestingly, oxygen plays a relatively minor role in regulating respiratory rhythm compared to carbon dioxide levels. What are the various disorders of respiratory system? Let's take a look at them. Asthma, a breathing difficulty causing wheezing due to inflammation of bronchi and bronchioles. Symptoms include shortness of breath, chest tightness, and coughing, especially at night or early morning. Emphysema, a chronic disorder where alveolar walls are damaged, decreasing respiratory surface area. Cigarette smoking is a major cause, leading to progressive shortness of breath and reduced oxygen exchange. Occupational respiratory disorders. Industries involving grinding or stonebreaking produce excessive dust that overwhelms the body's defense mechanisms. Long exposure leads to inflammation and fibrosis, causing serious lung damage. Workers in high-dust industries should wear protective masks to prevent respiratory damage. Early detection and proper management of respiratory disorders are crucial for maintaining quality of life and preventing progression to more severe conditions. In summary, our respiratory system is vital for exchanging gases, supplying oxygen, and removing carbon dioxide. Understanding this process helps us appreciate how our bodies function and the importance of keeping our respiratory health in check. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for NEET. Thank you.